Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hope you're doing good and well. And once again, welcome to if you're new on my channel, and welcome back if you're already subscribed my channel and watching this podcast of series Unknown to Known with me for the last 1 year. And today we are on the episode number 39, and we have a guest, Mandar here. Mandar, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sir. How about you?
That's nice. Definitely, it's not sir or madam relationship here. It's like a friend. So Mandar and Atul are talking here. Okay. So Mandar, before we kick off this session officially, even though officially is already done, we are on the live now. Okay. But as a tradition on my podcast, I'll go with the same stuff. Let's pray to God. Take a 10-20 second pause, pray to God and say, give us the power, word, and strength, because now what we are going to be speak is going to be history after 1 hour. And this will be on the social media for a long time then. So let's make sure that when our kids grow up, our parents see, their friends sees, our kids friends sees, they should remember, oh my god, my dad said this is in the podcast. Okay, so let 10-20 second pause, and then we'll start with the official session. Okay, so before we start, I would like to be wish each and everyone a very happy Holi, even though that was yesterday. And for India, it was a long weekend. I'm not sure that how you are managing to get up in the morning today, and we are still on online with me. So happy Holi to everybody. A healthy, wealthy, safe, peaceful Holi. Because today, in my place, we are going to play today Holi because it's on the weekends we play these festivals. Okay, Mandar. So the first question, which I always ask to my guest, this is your first live video podcast.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Tense, worried, conscious?
Conscious would be a word, and curious as well. I just, be, the discussions that we have had, right, where you say a lot of people are looking forward to. So I'm curious to know what they're looking forward to, because yeah, personally, I don't think there is much, that I contribute to those forums, and that's why my, what we call it, the kind of hesitance that I had initially is
Okay.
because I prefer one-on-one connections in person where I actually, get to know the people. And yeah, so this is completely new for me. So I'm curious to see how this goes.
But
And one more thing, sorry, that I'll just, want to make clear that whatever I say here does not reflect my current, previous, or future companies in any way, shape, or manner.
that's perfectly fine. And again, this is what I always say in the podcast as well, that you can talk to the guest after the session as well, you can take the advice, but if you are thinking to buy sell any product on the basis of this conversation, that will not be 100% be agree on that particular part. Please consider things very carefully, and then you can take a decision. But if you're looking for kind of a career guidance, kind of a support, no technical discussions I can say, or no solutioning part basically, but yes, for the overall perspective you can reach out to them. And definitely thanks Mandar for clarifying that this is completely your personal thoughts, nothing to be related to the company as well. Okay, so let's kick off now. And hi Ishan. Ishan joined us from Canada now. I guess it's near about a midnight for him, and he pinged me as also on the WhatsApp. Hey, I'm waiting for the link to be joined. Okay, so Mandar, we'll start now. That who is Mandar and how Mandar become GR.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a long journey, to be honest. So
We
I come
have
from.
a time. No problem. We have a time.
Yeah, so I come from coastal Maharashtra, nearer to Goa. So people know about Goa, but not about my part, which is good in a way. We still get to enjoy the pristine beaches and all. So
Yeah.
that's where I grew up in. My whole education happened there. And I was in a vernacular medium. So English is a new thing for me. So that's another, interesting thing that happened. But again, I completed my engineering back there, then moved to Mumbai for my first company. And initially, I was working on a different tool altogether called Zinovation. That's also, that's a reporting tool. It mainly uses Microsoft technologies in the backend. So
Okay.
that was an interesting challenge, but something that I didn't really look forward to doing every day. So I started asking for something new to do, something logical to do, and I got pushed into ServiceNow. And since then, since October 2012, I'm working in ServiceNow. And in terms of OGR, yeah, I guess same thing, right? I really like to use analogies when I explain things. A
Mm.
lot of my people pull my leg also because I keep giving examples unnecessarily. But that's who I am. So that's what I do. And similarly, I read a lot of, or I went through a lot of online content that uses pictorial, representations or comics as a representation. So that gave me an idea. Why can't we do something similar in service now? And that's how OGR started.
Okay, good. So two things which I got here. Number one is that you're from the engineering background. Number two,
Hmm.
you started your ServiceNow journey in 2012. Let
Yes.
me go a little bit a step back.
Yeah.
How you started this engineering, like in your family, that someone says, okay, Mandar, you can go for the BTech and become an engineer, or it's your, like, because in engineering also we have a multiple lines, might be electrical, in mechanical or IT industry. So what was your career path in that time?
Yeah, so again, a typical middle class background, right? Where either you go into medical or engineering if you are into science background.
Okay.
And how you decide science background based on your marks in 10th or is in secondary scholastic exam, So that's where I went into science without thinking. Then there was an option to go into medical. My older sister is actually a doctor.
Oh,
So my parents wanted me to become doctor. And because my parents wanted me to become doctor, I chose engineering. So that's the simplistic thing that I don't want to do what they are telling me to do. I'll do my own thing. And I
okay.
went into engineering. Again, in terms of engineering, I didn't get good scores in terms of picking the best colleges in India or at least in Maharashtra.
Mhm.
So I chose the college which was closest to our hometown, and that's where I guess IT was a thing, a buzzword even back then. This is in 2006, 2005, 6 that we
Right.
are speaking of. So IT was a buzzword back then. I didn't know much about it, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I chose it. So that's how I, okay, what we say, ended up in engineering.
Okay. Okay. Then how you, because you said that you were working on a tool called kind of a reporting tool, and then you
Yeah,
come to service now. And
true.
when I say, and you also use the word push, that you have been pushed to the service now. So how this push come into the picture? Like you're sitting idle and someone say, hey, Mandar, let's go and talk about the service now. Or you're seeing some pictures or seeing some videos, seeing some, because that time no videos, nothing was much available. So how that this turn has been come from reporting to the service now.
Yeah, so again, that reporting tool, and before that, coming to reporting tool, right? When I went into engineering, I had really good teachers, and that's why I started liking coding as such, right? And back then, we just had C as a language. I mean, at least in our curriculum. So I moved from C. I started learning Java, and that's when I kind of started liking Java. And when I went into this particular job, it was again a tool-based thing where you are just what we say arranging icons here and there,
Right.
something very basic, and writing a lot of queries. But again, that particular kida in me which wanted to code, which wanted to do logical things, wasn't
Right.
satisfied. So I started asking my superiors, can I get into Java? Can you give me a project that works on Java? And
Right.
that's when they told me that, hey, there's this ServiceNow thing that our team is working on. They use Java. Go there. So I
Okay.
said, yes, if they are using Java, I'd like it. And I went there. And since then, October 12th till today, I don't think I have used Java except in one particular minor sub project. But yes, that's how I've been pushed into this. But I don't regret it.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Do you still think that engineering is a good decision or a bad decision, even though you are well settled in a good
Hmm.
company, you have been working now? So, what do you think, that become a doctor is a more good option, or become engineer is now a good option?
I mean, it comes down to your own personal choices. To be honest, is what I feel. No matter how you start, again, engineering. I'll see a lot of people who did bachelors in arts or bachelors in
Correct.
science, not engineering science, BSc, but they are doing really good in their careers. That's because they really love what they do today.
True.
Similarly for doctors, right? If you really if you're passionate about what you do, you end up doing good things. That's what I feel. So it doesn't matter if you do engineering, if you do anything else. As I come to know, right, you are not from an engineering background, yet you
Right.
are doing really good in technology, which is supposed to be the engineering dominated area. So,
Dominated,
yeah,
right.
it really doesn't matter that.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine and perfectly you said, Mandar, because if I tell my background is very weird. I am a BCom, then I done a MCA, and now I'm in the IT industry. So generally, when I go for the guest lectures, people ask, "Hey, you are a BCom, you are an account student. How you do the computers?" So again, it's as you say that it's all that if you love, you will do it. That's what matter here. Okay, so you started this service now in 2012. I guess you are
Yeah,
talking about somewhere in the Berlin has been released sometime.
yeah, yeah. I started working with Berlin Billions.
And when we call service now, it's a ticking tool. How
Yes,
you
exactly.
feel? How you feel? Do you also have a same feeling that time that service now nothing was it's a ticking tool?
To be honest, I didn't know much about ServiceNow, and that's where some of the people that I worked in my first company come in picture, who
Mhm.
really impressed me with their knowledge and with also the capabilities of ServiceNow in general. So I never looked at it as a ticketing tool,
Mhm.
and I still don't look at it ticketing tool. It has gone beyond
Beyond
what a
it.
ticketing tool could do. But yes, I mean again, when someone calls it as a ticketing tool, I don't really mind. In fact, there was a phase in my career where I used to hate people who call it snow or SNOW or anything. Now I don't. Yes, I mean that's how they refer to it. It doesn't matter how you refer to a particular technology, as long as you are not berating it in general, or
Yeah.
you find something good about it. Yeah, we are good. So
Hmm. That's nice. So how was your experience in the beginning that when you start because you pick up a service now because of Java. So what was your first feeling? Wow, it is a good work I'm getting in Java, or you think, oh come on, yeah, I wasted my time. Let me go back and do work on the core Java part.
So yes, I mean that's where I realized that what I was really looking for is problem solving rather
Okay.
than anything else. So when I got those chances that hey, this is the problem, this is something we need to solve. This is the ServiceNow is the tool or platform that we have to solve it. So once I started thinking that way, I never felt that oh, I need to go back to Java or I need to learn Python or something like that. I still learned these languages because they helped me in doing what I was doing, but I never felt that okay, I'm lacking somewhere or I'm missing out on something. So that's where that's how I look at it now.
Okay. Now I come to a little bit more specific one because the time when you started service now, even though I was very late in the service now ecosystem, I joined 2015. How you start learning service now that time? Because I what I heard from different people and a lot of guests who came on my podcast as well, they say that time nothing was available, no YouTube, no this thing, service now docs was not that much good and everything, no community is much better. So how you started that part?
Yeah, so I think the wiki, ServiceNow wiki was really, really good resource. I still miss that today.
Mhm.
The reason I'm saying that is the way wiki explained things was, going into the overview of a thing first and then diving deep into the individual aspects of it.
Okay.
Something with docs, I feel, is it goes into the individual aspects very quickly. So you don't get that overview enough. Of course, we have good learning channel available now learning and all. So you don't really need that on the docs. But
Right.
Wiki was a really good resource, and secondly, the team that I had. So, people that I grew up or that I grew up with in that particular sense in service now. Kshitish Tripathi, who is a really really good person and has a huge influence on my career. The way he approached things, the way he would ask us questions to find better solution, innovative solutions,
Mhm.
optimized solutions when we were just starting our career, right? So that had a huge impact. Similarly, other person, Darshan Rathod, who is a co-founder of a ServiceNow company now. So he is also a big influence. He kind of things that he taught me, and the rest of the team as well, right? These two people taught me. But when I work with a lot of people like Mehul Patel and Manish Vinayak Ravi Katia, these guys, so they also were looking at the things in a completely different way. So I always kept on learning something new. That okay, why is he thinking like that? Can I do something similarly? And then I kept on, looking at same question different way, and I came up with better solutions. This is what I feel.
Nice. So if anybody whose name Mandar took just now might be Kshitish Tripathi or it's Mayu, right?
Mehul Patel, Darshan
Mayur
Rathod.
Patel. If you are on listening this podcast, you can say hi or hello. That will definitely motivate to me as well and the Mandar. So Mandar, I can consider the name we took is sorry, are your is the so, those are your mentors actually.
Yeah, I would call them mentors. Yes, true.
So how they mentor you? Because by the time 2012 2013 14 somewhere the mentorship was not that much famous. So
True.
how you feel that if you sit today and you go back and you see that they actually mentor you or they actually teach you or they actually build you?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question, right? So when we were learning, in fact, I was quite afraid of Kitish, to be honest, because the kind of questions he would ask, that whenever you're going, oh, but why you have done it like this? Have you
Hmm.
heard of this term anytime? And I'm like, oh no, I haven't. So I need to prepare well. So back then, I was, to be honest, afraid going and speaking with him, and I think a lot of my teammates were as well. So I'm not alone. But now, when I look back at those things, right, that is how he was kind of mentoring me without using these terms that we are quite used to today, like mentoring, like teaching, like coaching. But that
Okay.
is what they were doing by approaching things in a different way. So yes, these guys. And then throughout my journey, I've been fortunate enough to find really good people who kept on mentoring me, kept on coaching me, and kept on giving me advices, even though they were not in a position that was typically a managerial position. So they were my co-workers. In fact, there were cases where there were people who reported to me in official sense had better insights than me. So you always get to learn from people, and I'm really fortunate to have these people in my career journey, coach me, mentor me.
Perfectly fine. Any specific incident you want to be tell us that there was a time when you totally stuck and one of these guys come and say, "Hey, Mandar, don't worry. There is a path. Let's work together."
Uh, so I would say, rather than technical bit, the part that comes into mind, and these are new people again, but there was a phase in my career when everything that I was doing in my, what we say, everything that I was doing wasn't working well. So I was trying to do a lot of things that were failing. I used to introduce a lot of bugs and all that. And in that phase, right, you're just frustrated with things in general, and it could have turned into a negative spiral very quickly.
True.
That I start to blame myself or blame others and all that. And that's when I talk to these people, and they listen to me. They didn't really do much, to be honest. They didn't have to do much, but they would listen to me and then course correct that. All right, you're thinking all those things, I understand, but why don't you do this? This is the next thing that you can do. That's in your control.
Hmm.
So that's something really helped me. Again, Manish Vinayak is the person that I would like to highlight, and Nitin Cheno, who is not in ServiceNow space. But again, these are the friends and mentors and whatever you want to call them. Really good people in my life that I really appreciate having. Again, when when you talk to them, they will just listen to you, understand you, and that's empathy. If I want to use a word, empathy is something they would have. They would empathize with you, and then they will tell you that, all right, that's okay, but this is where you should be focusing on. So then you come out of that rut, that rather than going into that spiral, negative spiral,
Hmm.
blaming and all that, you come out of it, you see what you can do, what is in your control, you focus on it, and you come out of that phase. So that's another thing that happened.
Correct. Correct. Definitely. So, one more thing which is important again, do you think that everybody should have a mentor? It is required, or self mentoring also can be worked upon?
Yes, and right now you don't really need a mentor in typical sense. To be honest, a lot of what we say, resources are available there. So if you are looking into technical things, right, there are a lot of YouTube channels. You have yours, Prashant has his, Amit has his, and there are so many more YouTube channels that you can go to. ServiceNow publishes a lot of things. So
True.
on technical front, you get to see how the people who are at top of their career, who are top of their game, are doing things or are approaching things in a way. So that's how you can treat them as your mentor without actually personally interacting with them.
Okay.
And but again, I would say that in your personal life, find out such people that you can go out to speak to, and that can help you, or who can help you in your life in general, not specifically to career or career in service now, but keep looking for people in your career who are available around you, who have been there, done that kind of thing, and are trying to help you out as well.
Definitely. And you are the live example of same Mandar. If might be you believe or not, because in my podcast I invited a lot of guests who took your name specifically. Gaurav Shesat, Anubhav Ritolia, Amit, Sujan, Shreya Vani. Everybody said no. Mandar is one to who inspired us to be work on that particular part. And thank you so much for all your guidance which you are giving to the people. Definitely. A fun fact about Mandar, if anybody know or might be don't know, let me. Okay, let me ask. Any fun fact about Mandar from the audience? Do you know something different, special from with of Mandar here? Any wild guesses?
There's nothing to be on it. How would they know?
Come on, I have something. Wait. I'm waiting for the guest now. Otherwise, I'll reveal it, because I'll not say it's very tough, but yes, it's something different experience to connect with Mandar as well for this slot booking. The fun fact is that even though it's not fun fact, but it's very good, and I guess it's a need of an hour. Mandar is not using WhatsApp. So, what conversation I have Mandar from asking a slot to bringing today him on the podcast is all over the LinkedIn only. Even I don't have his number as well, but still, when I respond, he respond back in 5-10 minutes completely. So, what is the reason that you're not using WhatsApp? Everybody, because it is like a WhatsApp is not a necessity, but it's like a need now at point of time that you need it because to be connected with a lot of people. So, how you are away from this big trap?
I mean, I started using it back then, but again, yeah, I'm a slightly socially recluse person in that particular sense, if you could call it. So I stopped using it, and once you stop using it, you realize it's not that important. So you're not that used to these things, and I mean, it's not just the people that I know. Even a lot of times when there's a delivery person coming at your place, right? They will say, "Hey, ping me your location on WhatsApp," and I say, "No, I don't use WhatsApp, but I can message you." So
Huh.
there's a text message as well. So yeah, these things it takes slightly getting used to, but yeah, once you are used to it, it's a really peaceful place, I can tell.
Wow. So you're definitely your phone screen time is very less. I'm sure. Otherwise, people start. So are you using kind of a Facebook or Instagram, or
No,
you're away
not
from
really.
this?
Yeah, so only social media that I'm active on is LinkedIn, and in
Uh,
fact, I should be reducing my time there as well. I'm slightly getting used to it too much. So yeah, that's the only social media that I'm active on.
Okay. So let me put in the chat window if you would like to be connect with Mandar over the LinkedIn. Definitely, he's famous, so everybody know his LinkedIn handle. But still, for the reference, will come on this particular part.
I'm not
Okay.
that famous at all, I'll tell you.
Okay. Now the next part. I saw I was going through your LinkedIn profile as well, and I saw that you were the one of the hosts of the Pune meetups, and where a lot of people came and see, oh, he's Mandar and he's doing this thing, and we want to become like a Mandar. How you get this opportunity to become a host of Pune meetup, which is a brand now itself? It's a brand. Pune meetup is a brand itself.
So, I mean, again, I'm lucky I was at the right place at the right time to actually get that opportunity. So, I guess Anil in one of his podcasts mentioned this. So, initially there came a chance where we got an opportunity to host it in Global premises where I was working, and
Mhm.
we had a good strong core of, I guess, 8 to 10 people back then. So it was everyone in that 8 to 10 people who contributed, but the face I became the face. So whenever someone used to do this, whenever someone used to discuss about it, I used to go there. So and that's the happenstance rather than anything else where I got there. But again, I made really good people in that particular forum as well, right? So internally we had people like Anil, there was Suhas as well, and then there were people like Vinayak who started contributing hugely internally. Tanay, who has been a constant, presence in my career journey in Global. So Tanay Bedia. So again, he was there. So these were people who were actively participating in it, contributing in it. Suyog, I mean, that whole group was there. Amit, Suyog, these people were also involved in it. So that group contributed there, and I became the face of it by happenstance. But then again, Sujan and I made Sumit Ninawe who started all this. So these people also helped me a lot in terms of getting it up and coming and getting it started. So yeah, meet a lot of people. I think I remember meeting you in one of the offline meetups there in 2019ish, I guess
Yes,
18 or 19.
right.
So and
Before
that's
COVID.
when you mentioned something around you teach people, and I was completely taken aback. I hadn't seen anyone taking efforts for community in that particular way. So I knew people would answer, would ask questions, and be active in ServiceNow community. But in general, the larger community that is there, right? So that is something interesting that I get to learn. And again, I met Harneet there, I guess Harneet Sital and Hardit and all those people. So it was really good experience to meet these people. Amit also, I met him through these interactions as well. So really, good experience for me hosting or maybe being the host back then.
All right. And I'm really surprised that you know me that time, because That was the only meetup I attended till now in the physical format in Pune. That was the global, and I was recently shifted to Lohegaon. So I
Okay.
travel 30 kilometers, just 20-25 kilometers from airport till Hinjewadi phase 2 and go there and attend the session specifically. And even I don't remember that to whom I met that time, but it's really surprising that you remember me for that particular part. Thank you so much. So what are the challenges you face in this hosting this event?
Challenges weren't there really. So basic challenge that we faced initially was to make sure that it reaches out to a lot of people. So that was a challenge we faced initially. So what happened is we would publish it on Meetup page that was there. LinkedIn also wasn't really heavily used by a lot of ServiceNow
Right.
developers back then,
Yes.
or at least we were not able to reach out to them. So that is the biggest challenge we faced initially. And then we came up with some funny things like put on posts. So one of the things that we started doing is on those meetup pages or events, we would keep on posting something to make it interactive. Because what happens is someone may see that once they register and then they forget about it till the event. So we
Event.
started keeping it interactive, and later, I mean, right now these guys are putting in extra efforts. They are actually calling out the people who would register and
Yes.
all. So they are putting in effort. So that is something we initially had to do,
Mhm.
and that slowly helped us gather the people. Then the people who joined started recommending it to others, and now, as you said, it has become a brand. And again, a
Yes.
lot of people has contributed it in not the co-host. Sujan has done a tremendous job throughout these years.
Yes.
But apart from him, a lot of people who may not get the name shown or may not be the center stage, but we're always there. Even today, if you join any meetup, apart from Gaurav, apart from Shreya, apart from Anubhav and Sujan, there are a lot of people who are actually helping. They may not, get the name, and I don't want to, single out one person, but there is a group, and that's the community that we have built. And again, I think Sujan has a major part to play in building this community. In fact, I'll tell you one example, right? So last to last year, we had a meetup. I wasn't a co-host or I wasn't anyone to be honest at that point. We went there and Pranav was there. So he brought stickers, right? So those were sheets of stickers, and he said, let's just cut them up so that we have individual stickers and we can hand it out to participants. So me, Anil, I guess Sia was there. We started cutting it out, and while we were doing it, there were three or four people just came up. Hey, we can help you. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of community that is there. That this is our event, not one person's event, not two persons' event. This is our event, and that's I think one of the major thing that we have been able to achieve in Pune community, and that's why I believe it has become a brand where people think that it's my thing, it's our thing. Let's make it special.
True. No, that's fine. And for any work in the life we do, there are unsung hero always. Might be we are here, but our parents are our unsung hero who never come on the stage, who never come on the camera with us. Our family, even I try to be invite few of my guests with the family, but say no, Atul, we will come alone only. We are not alone. Involved with our family in that very way. And also something which is important about the Pune meetup is that Pune meetup is the only meetup where the registration get filled
Yeah.
more quickly than the CT or CMA registrations. In the seconds, it gets filled actually. And
Great.
people are sometimes people approach me as well. Hey, Atul, you have a good connection with Gaurav or Shreya. Can you ask to give me one seat for this one? I said I can't do anything. Number
Yeah.
one, I'm not in Pune itself, so I can't help it. Second, it's not a fair on the other people as well that I should approach for you only to give a seat. That
And
good.
I don't think these guys will even
No,
entertain such things, right? They
not
are methodical. They will go, okay, these are the people, these many we can allow. If you are there, you are there. We
yes,
can't, have special
yes,
excuse for you.
yes.
So a
I
lot of people don't realize this, but it's the case. Even if I register late, right, 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm not in that list, I won't be entertained there. So that's something I really like. It's a level playing field for everyone.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. The registration of Pune meetup fills so quickly than the CT or CMA exams get filled. So that's if you missed out, you missed out. That's the only thing I can say. If you get lucky, you will get a chance to be attend that event. Definitely, and definitely there's a lot of constraints. Sometimes budget constraints, location constraints, space constraints. We cannot accommodate everybody and every time. So we have to make a things on that particular part. Okay, now I come into this particular part, which again Mahesh also put the question. Even I have a question. You are wearing some specific T-shirt.
Yay.
Yes. OGR. What is the story behind this OGR?
Yeah, so again, I mean, when I started, I mentioned earlier, right? I use bad analogies in general. So that is something I keep on doing in my career, where I use analogies
Hmm.
and try to explain things. And that's where I also was following a lot of good articles online, as in good comics shows and all, comic strips and all. Some of them, like Amoeba Sisters, is really good if you haven't followed it yet. Really, really good. Amoeba Sisters, they have their YouTube channel as well, where they use these diagrams or these kind of animations to
Hmm.
explain concepts in biology, which are not that easy to grasp at
Okay.
first glance. So that's where I really started liking going through that. Then there are programmer specific comics. There are a lot of there, like the Geek and Poke. That's one good. They don't publish anything anymore, but that's a really good comic strips if you want to read. Work Chronicles is something that they do a lot on LinkedIn today. You might have seen that already. So there
Yes.
are so many, things like this. Comic Agile is another that I like. So when I started following this kind of a content, I think maybe we should do something similar in ServiceNow. Why don't we do something
Okay.
similar in ServiceNow? And that's when I, started publishing.
Okay. So how you get time for this one?
Actually, I don't do much apart from this, to be honest. So I spend 5 days working, as in working hours in working time. Then I get my time. I don't really do much related to community. So I'm not the best example today of how to contribute to community, to be honest, because I don't do much, to be honest there. But yes, I mean, then when you're working, right, generally something new pops up. That, hey, I didn't know this particular aspect, or hey, I didn't look at this particular solution before, or this particular feature before. Then you start looking, hey, can I explain it in a better way? And now I have these OGR characters, 2 or 3 characters. I generally think in that particular term, can I put it as a conversation between these characters, etc. So yes, a weekend, a few hours a weekend. Now it's easy. When I started, I had to build all those assets.
And
Now
also,
I just need to tweak them a bit, so it's much easier now.
right. And if you're looking for a complete database for this OGR, I put the blog site here, which is being maintained and carried by Mandar only. You can get all the previous OGR stuff here. So this GR is referring to the glide record,
Glide
or
record,
GR
yeah.
is referring to something else.
No, no, glide record. So basically, that's the common base practice. So initially, when I started, my idea was to explain the base practices.
Right.
And the first base practice that you hear is don't use GR as a variable name. And
Yes.
that's why I started. Okay, why don't we put that GR as our central character? So all these characters in my comics are actually glide record, glide APIs, or something related to service or business rule or something of that sort. And GR is the central character. And OGR I tried to rhyme it with Oh dear, as in what happened. So yeah, that's how OGR name came as well.
Hmm. So it means if anybody want to be know little bit more about this GR concept as a glide record, they can refer to your blog and they can see all about that particular part. So do you put
Yes.
any kind of a reference as well under these things that from where you pick up this best practice or from any docs or kind of things? If full fledged anybody want to be refer.
Not exactly yet, but maybe something I could do, where just after the blog I could put, hey, refer to this channel to know the technical details of it. Something I could pick up. Yeah,
Yeah,
good suggestion.
because sometimes people ask that, hey, do you have any reference? Because you can't put in the comic, you cannot put the 100 or 200 lines, just maximum 5 7 lines, maximum 5 7 lines, and it's this one. Yeah. So I got one of your favorite. I'll not say it's a mentee, but because it's not a mentor-mentee relationship, it's like a friend relationship. So Amit is there, who just came now from the previous podcast with Prashant of the success stories. Hope it was a good one. So we have a Shama which says Mandar is equal to mentor. Is it double equal to or it's single equal to Shama?
Triple equal to, yeah. So she hasn't put triple equal to because that's not the exact match. Okay, he's someone like a mentor, I can say.
Oh
So
my. So this is what the technical things are coming now. Double equal to, triple equal to, and all things will be there. Good. Okay. So now let's play a game and let's see how much your participants, how much the people who consider you, who believe in you as a mandar for a mentor, who will help you in this particular part. Okay. So till the previous podcast, I always use a game that okay, I'll put a one alphabet and you have to be give me a word from the ServiceNow ecosystem. But you cannot use the release name. Okay. So Shama is correcting the Shama. Believe me, I'm not a technical guy. So for me, double equal to, triple equal to, single equal to doesn't matter here. For me, it's a mentor only. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll put you some definition, and then you have to give me the answer. Okay. And I'll put little bit more to be complicated. Let's see what people think that what can be the right word. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's start. I am the one. Might be you can get some idea from the GR as well. I'm the one which provide a big stage, someone on the form. I'm the one who work for the unsung heroes as well. Who am I?
Okay. On the form, so
Yes.
notes, work notes,
But unsung heroes,
canvas.
it's
Yeah,
it's
not the
it's really,
unsung
really
hero.
not unsung heroes.
Show XML, you see all the heroes there. So
Okay, but again, it's a unsung heroes kind of things. Might be Amit, Shama, Ishan can help here. So
guys, help me.
let me repeat. I'm the someone who provide a big stage, someone on the form, and I'm the someone who can help to hide the unsung hero. Who am I?
Right. UI policy, but that won't be. No, that's not the thing on the form.
But something you're on the right
ACLs,
track. It's a UI
ACL,
policy.
UI policy only, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because mainly that work on the form level only.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I am the heart of service now, and I have only two friends, vertical and horizontal. Who am I?
Reporting, reporting
No,
on
no,
the reporting. Discovery, there's no
no.
vertical discovery. Vertical discovery, no. Horizontal discovery, we call it, but
I am the one who is the heart of service now, and I have only two friends, vertical and the horizontal.
portal, but that has nothing vertical.
Vertical and horizontal format. Who am I?
Business dependency map, as in
No,
CI dependency map, no.
no. I'm the heart of service
List
now.
and form layout, oh, table, yeah, table. Thanks,
Shubhanki,
Mandar.
yes, Shubhanki said right. I'm a table because I'm a
Yeah,
heart of service now, and I work. My two friends are row and columns are my two best friends here.
okay.
Okay, without me, you cannot survive. I am, and I am the great grandfather of many others. Who am I?
Task table,
Oh my God, correctly.
something. Finally, I got something right. So
Yes. Okay. People misuse me by my abbreviation. And Mandar, you are taking care of me. Who am I?
glide record.
Hey, come on, that's right.
Yeah. No, GR man, come on. My
Yes.
whole identity is revolving around GR these days.
Correct,
So
correct, 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 correct. You can use me if you have no other option, and I will help you to start fresh. What type of command I am?
Zboot.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Mandar. And believe me, guys, all these questions which I'm doing, it's a runtime. I just write two questions in the initially, but I'm getting a lot of things in my mind now. Okay. Now the last question. A picture has 1,000 words. Who am I?
report or performance analytics.
But that's a module.
Okay.
We
Picture
use
has a
PA
thousand
to
words.
build something.
Hmm,
A picture has 1,000 word. Someone already answered this in the chat as well.
dashboard.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Shama.
So this is what. Okay. We'll come back again, Mandar, on this particular part. Now let's go a little bit forward here. Okay. We see that you have done a lot of things in this particular part in ServiceNow ecosystem. Now the question come, I'm a trainer. I interact a lot of people in the day in day out. Definitely like Amit, Prashant. We guys are getting a lot of comments and updates as well from different people. What you suggest for a fresher to start service now?
Yeah, so it had changed, right? So when initially I started almost as a fresher, though I had IT experience in it. It was, going into the technical details, like understand how the different types of scripts work. Back then, we had to focus on very few scripts. So I'm speaking of Berlin release, right? So
Yes.
client script, UI policy a bit, script include business rules. You are done. You're pretty much done for 75 to 80% of it. That was how we approached it, and the requirements were very technical as well. Like, we want to do this kind of a business rule or something of that sort. So that is how I started. Slowly it became evolved. So if some of the people that I know, like Shreya started journey few years ago, Suhas and other people that I mentioned started journey a few years ago before that as well. So back then you also need to know a bit of the process background, like incident, problem change, what they do mean and all that. Now I would say it has gone beyond that in terms of knowing the processes more. So ServiceNow is moving away from technical bits. Sadly, if you really ask me, I am a technical person, but they are moving away from it. So it's more important to know the processes while they are being introduced in a particular way. And then I would say understand that first, and then when client comes up with a requirement, right? And this is something I've been asked as well, that my technical lead tells me to do this. How should I ask him? Would it appear like a cross questioning my senior and all that? So it wouldn't. If your seniors are good, that is, they would be happy to answer all these questions. Where you're asking, okay, I understand you want me to do this particular thing. You want me to write a client script. You want me to write a script include or something technical. But what is the end goal? Why are we doing this? So once you start understanding that, right, you start giving a better solution. The freshers advice would be understand the processes. That is one thing. And to understand the processes, ServiceNow has a lot of material. As you mentioned, a lot of you guys are spending a lot of time on community. There are so many articles on community itself or question answers. Go through that, spend some time, get the bigger picture of it. And another thing that I would recommend once you start getting comfortable with this is Now Create. So on Now Create, there is so much material. One thing that I still follow today is process guides that they have. So that gives you really good technical understanding of what is being implemented, how it is being implemented, and why. A bit of a why. Why are they going in that particular way? So that gives you a good understanding of how it is structured today. And if I am trying to do something, does it fit with that philosophy, or does it go well with what is already there? So that is how you start learning and make use of all these resources that are available there. So for if you're a fresher, you have a lot of material. All you have to do is spend some time, get comfortable with it, and feel free to use forums like this, forums like ServiceNow Socials or Meetups or community, to ask your questions, get your understanding at a higher level, and go from there.
Yeah. And I guess, Mandar, something which I'm really surprised. Did you listen my yesterday session which I delivered to the next gen in
Yeah,
London?
I see.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, in the next gen guys with the London, because same concept I pick up, that even though you're a technical guy, but if you're not asking the why, you are wasting your technical skills. And now the scenario has completely changed. If you ask why, it will be appreciated, not be considered as a
Yes.
complaint. Because being a technical guy doesn't mean that I can do anything. If you're asking that why, what value is going to bring it, that is more important here. That's nice. Okay, you pick up the two things important here. Number one is the now create.
Mhm.
Why you are saying now create? Because I guess you are the second or third guest for me who are putting more emphasis on the now create. And
Yeah.
I love now create. He's my friend. I always say he's my friend always. So why now create?
So basically, the way I started using it is when I was more of a consultant, as in they were looking at me to see if a particular solution will work in our case. As in, I
Okay.
was directly working with a client, so not as a service, what is it? Not as a consultant as such. I was a developer there. Yet they wanted me to just explore a few things like risk management or SecOps, and
Mhm.
you can go through videos to get an understanding of how the functionality works. But why do we really need to do this? So that's when I ended up with Now Create. So it has a really good philosophy that they
Sure.
have. They have several steps there, that as a project manager, what you should do, as a technical consultant what you should do, as a agile coach, as in a scrum master what you should do. So what are the steps you should do, and they're also cognizant of the after delivery part, as in what you should keep in mind to maintain that product in a good way. So that is governance bit, that is really important. And with all these aspects that I mentioned, they have artifacts associated with it, or as they call assets associated with it. So it could be presentations, if you are trying to present this. It could be, as I said, process guides if you are really trying to understand how it works, how it links with each other in the backend. So that's where I feel they have done really tremendous job in terms of creating Now Create, and you can go from zero to almost, I say, 50 to 60% in very quick time, just going through that. So that's
Correct.
a really good aspect.
And I guess with this, even though I have nobody to attest something, but with this I can attest what said by Amit or Shama, that Mandar is equal to mentor. This is what the quality of mentor, that you are pushing from the both side, technical side as well, plus from the functional side as well. And I guess Tejal, the question you put for SPM, I'll recommend again. I'll take the Mandar word as well. Please go to the service now. Sorry, go to the Now Create, download the presentation and start watching it or reading it. You will get a lot of fun. And again, Now Create will not provide you kind of a technical things. It provides you the functional perspective more over that particular part. So for me, Now Create is bread, butter, and jam, which I use day in, day out for this particular part. That's nice. Now, Mandar, because we just have a few minutes left for our this discussion now, what are your thoughts about the ServiceNow community? Why, as a fresher, I should go to the community?
Yeah, so I'll take my own example, right? So when I started, my initial interactions with community were to search for questions and get answers.
Mhm.
Or, there's this, there are these beautiful articles written by Slightly Looney, which were my go-to articles initially. They are specific for UI macros and UI pages, which we rarely use these days. In fact, we rarely used back then as well. But those are really beautifully articulated articles. If you are, if you want to create your content, those I would recommend going through those articles, understand how easily that guy explains, guy or girl, I don't know, explains how to go about things, what are the aspects that we are trying to understand, and then how to do it. So those are the things. That's where I spent most of my time initially, and then I started contributing, in terms of answering back in 2013. And ServiceNow had just introduced gamification back then. That was a game changer for me. I got hooked to it, to be honest. I spent my weekends, my nights, my early mornings, every time that I can find, answering and getting that one like. I was obsessed with it back then. That also, gave me exposure beyond my own idea. And this is why I would say that anyone starting, go there, understand the questions that people are asking. Even if you don't know the answer, see what others are answering. That
True.
will help you understand the different perspective, that how you should approach it. Because another good thing about communities, there are not only technical people, but as you said, process oriented people
True.
or business oriented people as well, and they will have their own take on things. So you get to understand different perspectives, which is very difficult in your project setup, where you may just get one aspect. And that's why go to community, get the answers. If you feel confident, once you start reading a lot of answers, you may start answering as well. Again, the goal would not be to get the likes, which I had, to be honest. I'm guilty of that, but that should not be the goal. Goal would be to just see what your answers contribute. Some people may like it, some people may think differently, and as you start contributing, as you start writing out your things, right, you start to think better as well. So that's another thing that happens to you. You start thinking better. You start appreciating the questions better, situations better, and you start better solutioning as well. So that's
Right.
something I would recommend. And
And
fun fact about it is, because of that gamification, I was awarded the global leader. So back then
oh,
they didn't have something like a rising star in 2015. The first batch had MVPs and global leaders. And then I suddenly realized that, yes, I know a few things that gave me that confidence. So that's also important. Back then, it was really important for me, because I had a lot of inferiority complexes growing up. So, yeah, that helped me that, okay, at an industry level, if I'm getting an award, that means I'm going on the right path. I should continue going on this path. So, yes, that's how community helps you.
true. No, I'm 100% eco with you, Mandar, on this. The reason being, and I think it's not like a guilty, because when we start, we always in the mood. Oh, I need to be get more likes, more acceptance. But there was a time. when you think, no, no, yeah, it's over for me, let's go only for the other part, that is helping to the other people as well. So as I say, yesterday when I was delivering a session with the next gen people, so I have the same fundamental: make a habit to read at least one blog in a day, at least five answers which has been accepted, read that answers, and at least give to be answered three questions. That's all for the day. It take maximum 1 hour or half an hour, 45 minutes, and you will see when you reach from 5 to 50 and 100, you will not believe, you will just start working on that particular part. And it's a addiction. It's a
Yeah,
very bad addiction, very bad addiction, believe me. I have that phase as well. You shut down the laptops, you can still use on the mobile phone as well, you can
yeah,
answer that particular thing unless you don't require any screenshot, and you can go particular part. And good part is that which you also say, that it is not about only technical, it's about the process as well. And being a process consultant, I see that my answers help the member to convert the requirement completely, because I say it's from the
yes.
process part, it's not good, and they
Hmm.
agree on that particular part, and they say yes, we are not going to do with this particular part. Okay, this one. Now coming to the last section mainly, I saw that you attended the Creator Con as well, which happened in the last year in Pune. How was that experience?
It was really good, to be honest. The kind of effort that ServiceNow has put out there to host that event, to communicate in that particular aspect, explain the new thing. So I joined the AI batch that they had, which was again really good. Christy had done a fantastic
You,
job there.
yes.
So that session itself was really good. But again, I generally come back on this people aspect of it, right? I met a lot of people during that session,
Hmm.
and same thing. I joined meetups as well. Is you get to meet a lot of people. You interact with them. I see Mahesh as well, right? So I recently met him. Amit, again through meetups is what we generally speak and meet and all those things. So this is where you get to meet these people, and ServiceNow community is really accepting in that sense. You'll not find any of these guys, right? These MVPs and anyone will act in a different way. They'll act like normal people,
True.
So, and that gives a really good impression about. Of course, these are nice people as well, but about the community, that the guys who are at the top level of this particular community are an example to follow. So anyone starting, looking at them, they'll do the same. They will not act hasty, or they will not act like they have won anything and something like that. So these guys are doing that fantastically. So that's why community is good. CreatorCon, again, you get to meet. There were these sessions as well. So Andrew had a good session, or what is it, stall for studio. So that was really good. So you get to interact these people. You understand why they are doing it, how they are doing it, what were the challenges that they started tackling, and where they are now. So yeah, these are good things. So I would really recommend any activity that you can do with ServiceNow community in particular. Make sure you attend it. Don't just think that okay, I should do it when I'm searching for a new job. That's the wrong way of looking at it. You need to build these connections, not just for jobs, but to grow professionally. And in my case, I will say to grow personally as well. I've learned a lot of things from these people, in terms of how to approach things, not just technically but professionally, personally. And I've made some really good friends. So Gaurav, Amit, and Sujan, right? They keep promoting my name in some of these events, even though I'm not doing anything. So that's special. Shreya, for that matter, they'll take my, and in fact, Shama is right now saying I'm a mentor. So I feel. I mean, I feel like these guys are Ekalave in that sense, that they are learning on their own. They're doing everything on their own, but they're trying to give me credit. Don't worry, I won't ask your fingers. I'm not that kind of a guy. But yes, I mean, that is how I feel, to be honest.
No, no, Mandar, that is a good part of for you. I can say that yes, you're not taking the credit, but the thing is that when anybody gets success and paying the gratitude to their mentor, you and we should accept it with a happy face. Yes, I'm happy that my knowledge help you. Might be little, what, 5, 7, 2%, 3%, but yes, and that is the reason I said that in my previous podcast, a lot of people took your name, and I think, wow, that's what I have to bring now. And believe me, guys, on the day one when I connect with Mandar, he simply say no to me. Atul, I'm not the person who love to come on the video, specifically on the live. I will not come. And yesterday also he said that it might be dicey, I will not join. I said, come on, now people are asking, you cannot back out on this on this particular part. This is what is important here. Okay, so professional part has been done, and I see that you contributing a lot in the community as well. with the part with this meetups organizer, meetup host as well. Now, how much your family is supporting you and how they're supporting you? Is your wife, or if you're definitely you're married, so your wife or your
I'm not.
kids? No, you're not married.
I'm single here.
Then you're free, but there's no question. But
No, but
definitely,
when you say family, right, parents do play a part, a
yes,
huge part in terms of the kind of person you become. And again, I saw my mother, she has been a huge influence in this particular journey where I saw her, she was a working woman back in 80s. Uh, a really difficult task, the societal expectations are there. And beyond societal, right, in her case, I know she loved doing things for her family. That's how she looked at it. She still does in the same way. So I saw her getting up at 5, cooking, and then going to her job, and having ungrateful people like me around. She still managed it. She still managed it with a happy face. At the end of the day, she would still come back and she would be happy, and that is something to follow. I still try to do that. Thing like that. You do chorus at your home, and you don't feel like it's a burden on you. You should not treat it like that. Or if your parents with you now, you should treat it like that's a blessing that you have, your parents are with you. Or
true.
if you have family, right, your spouses, your kids, their family, not kids, your spouses family, that's a blessing that you have. In some way you are what we say, you are grounded because of them. So that's your central point. So appreciate it. Family is very important.
Yes, yes, yes. And again, very, very rightly said, Mandar, that whenever, wherever you go, always remember your roots, because these are the people, are friends, family, parents, spouse, kids. They are always with you in your good time as well, in your bad time as well. So if you're getting gratitude, thanks to them. If you're not getting gratitude, you're getting criticism, tell to them. They will definitely
Yeah.
help you to be overcome these particular problems as well. Okay, now I'm sure one more question last. Do you think now that you are tired and let's take a little break?
Mhm.
Do you think that it's done, yeah? I'm done with the community. Let's take a break for some time, or might be just it's over.
So to be honest, if you have seen me, I have taken a break for last 6 or 7 years. So I guess I haven't contributed in the typical sense to community since 2018-19. So
Mhm.
I moved away from the community, the service of community question answer article kind of a thing way back. I focused on meetups, as you said, and then interacting with people in person. So beyond meetups, beyond your service of community, you do have people in your company as well, in your team as well. So interacting with them, you get to learn a lot of things. So that's also a good source, that has been a good source for me in terms of learning. OGR is something I do, and again, it's I mean, to be honest with you, hardly 20 or 25 people read it. But again, that's not what I do. Why I do it, I don't want the fame that comes with it. It's not that good to get the fame, but I get to express myself. So that's how I look at the community nowadays. And one thing I would say is take breaks. So this is another thing that I would like to recommend to a lot of people. Always ensure that your mental space is in good space. So you may feel like don't get into that FOMO that okay, these guys are doing a lot of things. These guys are doing this. These guys are publishing this, or they are getting awards. They are doing a lot of things. They are getting promotions and all that. Don't get yourself convoluted. That's not the right word.
Comparison,
Mixed up with these
comparison
things.
format, mainly comparison
Yeah,
format. Okay.
don't get yourself mixed up in these things. Take your time. You are on your own journey. It's a marathon. Keep running. Keep
True.
completing it the way you could, and take breaks. Go out there. There are so many things to do besides working. So make sure that you spend time traveling, eating out, drinking if you are like drinks and all that. So do those things. That's how you evolve. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even though when I was having a podcast with the Christy on 7th of March, she also said the same thing, that she worked a lot in the early days of her career, and now she think, why I work a lot? I need a break. I should go for the break as well. I should enjoy my life as well. And one of my friend who is also part of this podcast now, she always told to me, "Arya Tul sir, mast raho, khush raho. That's more important. Don't go for the comparison. He's doing this. You should pray that his session, his podcast, his blogs should be go more and more and more high, so that he also get visibility. You also learn, and they also learn. We also learn together on that particular part." Good. Okay, so we have a Earl as well. Hi, Earl. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining, and definitely have a nice
good night.
evening. We have a Ola as well. He's one of my friend to whom I met in
Yeah,
the knowledge event. And as you say, request to everybody, go in the meetups as well, not only for the learning, to get together to meet a friend on a common place and without paying anything from the pocket.
cherry
That's
on the
the
top,
only
right?
place where might be your wife or your husband say, okay, you go and learn something, but you're going for some other purpose to meeting the friends on that particular part. Last comment, thoughts, advice for everybody.
Yeah, well, enjoy what you do is what I'll say. Whatever it could be, you are working on the work that you do. If you find your passion in it, go ahead, do it. If it is beyond works, that's something that you are passionate about, make sure you do it. So life is short. A lot of instances that happened recently that highlight this fact. Life is very short and unpredictable. You never know what is going to happen tomorrow. So make sure that you enjoy today, with and in right way, right? Of course, I'm not advocating drink driving and all that thing. No,
Yes,
that's not acceptable.
true,
But that doesn't mean that you can enjoy yourself as well, your life, and also appreciate the people that are around you.
true.
You may not get that chance later. I have personally seen this happen, and I'm really what to say, feel guilty that I couldn't say these things to those people. But yes, always whenever something minor thing happens, right, say thank you. I really appreciate it. Or your parents. We don't really thank our parents enough. Go back and tell them, hey, thanks. Just a thing, thank you for all you have done for me, or something like that. You don't have to wait for a Mother's Day or Father's Day for that.
That's right.
It's any day. Just go and thank them.
True. Very nice advice, and definitely 100% practical. That we should not wait for specific days or the weeks to be say thank you to our spouse or our family members or parents or father. Every day is a good day. If you get up, go and say thanks, because this is their blessings. We get up today in the morning and we are doing the things here. Okay, so I guess there's no other question on this particular part on this particular podcast. So let we close this session. But again, as we started, the session will go in the same manner, because we speak a lot. We took 1 hour to be speaking. We're taking a lot of words, thoughts, everything. And let's go back to the basics and say thanks to the God. Take 10-20 second pause. Thanks to the God. He gave us the power. He gave us the words today, which we are able to speak. And then finally, we formally close the session as well. Okay, so now, hi Jerry, morning. We are just about to close this. I know might be you're busy, so you did not able to join in early morning. But Jerry is one of my consistent viewer who always come on my podcast. It's morning 6:30 UK timing, so he's always there. Before we close the session, there are two important updates. Next week, I am bringing another guest, and we are going to be deep dive specific topic of agentic AI. That is the one. On 23rd, that is a Sunday, me and Jerry is coming again back with some other community portal topic we're bringing together, and we'll discuss on that particular part. So till the time, take care. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend, guys, everybody, and see you again on the next week. Bye bye and thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks, Atul, for having me.
Thanks.